Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a Punk deck profile. So I'm really excited to do some for you guys because this deck is one of my favorite decks to play for the artwork alone. But it can make some absolutely incredible boards. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're playing 3 copies of Z-Alman. Z-Alman is definitely a 3-of in the build because this card has an incredible effect that you can pay 600 life points to add a punk monster from your deck to your hand, getting the exact card we need from our deck to our hand so we can go full combo. We then play 3 copies of Rising Scale. Rising Scale is such a powerful extender and exactly what this deck needed when this card was released. And this card has the ability you can actually banish one other punk monster from your hand or graveyard to be able to special summon this card from the hand. And in this card is special summon, you can pay 600 life points to add to your hand or special summon a punk monster from the deck or the graveyard, except a level 8 monster, which is such a powerful ability to instantly get to the exact punk monster we need, also bringing out a level 8 monster to our side of the field so we can go full combo. This card is definitely a 3-of in the build. We then play 3 copies of Foxy Tune. Foxy Tune is really cool as a 3-of to help us summon out our punk monsters directly from the deck. You can actually send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard and send an additional card from your hand to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon a punk monster from the deck except a level 8 monster, which is a great ability to help us bring out basically any of our powerhouse plays in this deck. We then play 3 copies of Ogre Dance. Ogre Dance is really cool as a Rhoda because this card has the ability you can actually send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard to add a punk monster from your deck to your hand, except a level 8 monster, basically being the Rhoda for the deck. We then play 2 copies of Deer Note. Deer Note is really good in the build, and I feel like 2 copies is perfect for this deck because if you just play 1, you actually don't have as many combos in this deck, and I really like playing 2 as it does give us some utility just in case we draw into one. But this card has the ability you can actually reveal one other punk monster in your hand and then special summon either the reveal monster or this card and send the other to the graveyard. And if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can actually target a punk monster in your graveyard except a level 5, basically itself, and special summon it, but you cannot special summon Deer Note for the rest of the turn. This card is an amazing 2-of in the build and helps out so much to play the second copy, as if you do draw into it, you can't special summon it from the deck, so that's why I really like playing 2, so I can always have one in the deck to be able to summon off of different card effects. We then play a single copy of Wagon. Wagon is great because this card actually searches our field spell because this card has the effect you can pay 600 life points to add a punk spell from your deck to your hand, instantly getting to our field spell. We play a single copy of Madam Spider. Madam Spider is incredible in the deck as a 1-of because this card lets us pay 600 life points to add a punk trap from your deck to your hand, which is great to set up our turn 1 board. We play a single copy of Shirakusai. Shirakusai is great as a 1-of in the build and just helps us out a lot in the deck. And the reason you play this card as a 1-of is because it's so easy to get to in this deck. When this card has the ability during our turn, we can pay 600 life points to fusion summon a punk fusion monster from our X deck using monsters from our hand or field as material, or during the opponent's turn, you can actually quick effect, pay 600 life points, and immediately effect results, synchro summon a punk synchro monster using monster you control as material, which is such an incredible ability to help you go in for your copy of Amazing Dragon during the opponent's turn to actually bounce cards off the field, and it's absolutely incredible how many cards you can actually bounce in this deck. We then play 3 copies of Imseti. The Horus engine is so good in this deck to be able to use because it helps you get additional level 8s on your side of the field, so we can go for rank 8 plays or level 11 synchro plays. But this card helps out so much in the build to basically just send this card from our hand to the graveyard plus an additional card to grab our copy of King's Sarcophagus and get a draw. And as long as we have King's Sarcophagus on the field, you can bring this card back to your side of the field every single one of our turns, which is awesome just to keep getting level 8s on the field so we can keep synchroing and going in for some insane plays. I'm going to see a copy of Happy. Happy is great as a 1-of in the build, and you only need 2 Horus names in this deck, which is why I'm playing Imseti and Happy because they're the best 2. We then play a single copy of Ghost Ogre. Ghost Ogre is ridiculously good as a 1-0 because it's actually searchable and just a really good 1-0 in the deck that helps us pop cards on the field. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom is definitely a 3-0 in the build to basically just stop the opponent from touching the deck. We then play 3 copies of Fluros. Fluros is really good as a 3-0 to help us dig into the deck for the exact cards that we need. So, that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is really good as a 1-0 in the build to basically just stop our opponent's hand traps when we're going in for all of our plays. We then play a single copy of Crossout Designator. Crossout Designator is really good, just like your copy of Call By to again stop your opponent's hand traps. And then a single copy of Jam Extreme Session. Jam Extreme Session is great in this build as a 1-up because this card basically is a draw 2. And just such a powerful card to be able to play because once per turn you can actually banish a punk card from your graveyard to be able to special summon a punk monster from your hand. And if a psychic monster you control paid life points to activate its effect, you can actually draw a card and you can activate that effect up to twice per turn, giving you a double draw off this card's effect, which is incredible. We then played 2 copies of King Sarcophagus. King Sarcophagus is great as a 2-of-them build, so we can basically get our Horus engine online, and this card has the ability that you can actually send a card from your hand to the graveyard to be able to actually send a Horus monster from your deck to the graveyard, and when this card's on your side of the field, your Horus monsters can actually bring themselves back to your side of the field, which is incredible, so we can get level 8 monsters on the field. We then also played 3 copies of E-Telly. E-Telly is definitely a 3-out in the build to help us bring out our level 3 punk monsters to our side of the field, like our copies of Z-Almond, without even using our normal summon, which is absolutely insane. This card is definitely a 3-out in the build, and such a powerful card. So, that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get in to the traps. So for the traps, we're going to start with a single copy of Dangerous Gabu. This card is really good as a 1-of and searchable off our copy of Madam Spider. In this card ability, you can actually target an effect monster your opponent controls and negate its effects until the end of the turn. Then, if you control a punk monster, you can gain life points equal to target monster's original attack points, which is a pretty cool ability because we pay a lot of life points in this deck, and this card is just really good because it's actually a negate. You can change it out if you want to for surprise, but I really like Dangerous Gabu because it is a negate. We then played 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Infinite Impermanence is definitely a 3-of in the build to basically just stop our opponent's monster effects and also lock down entire columns of spells and traps. So, that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to start off with Amazing Dragon. Amazing Dragon truly is an amazing card and one of my favorite card artworks in the entire game. And this card is actually synchro summon. You can target cards your opponent controls up to the number of level 3 psychic monsters with different names you control and in your graveyard and return them back to the hand. Which is such a powerful ability because we can actually go into this card during our opponent's turn using Shirakusai's quick synchro effect, which is absolutely insane to be able to do, so we can get multiple bounces on the field and use it as a crazy powerful disruption, because when this card actually resolves, it will win games because you can bounce like 4 cards off your opponent's side of the field, which is absolutely crazy. This card also has a really cool ability that during your turn, you can actually target a punk monster in your graveyard and special summon it, but you can only use 1 effect this card per turn and only once that turn. We then play a single copy of Psychic and Punisher. Psychic and Punisher just comes out absolutely massive and just wins games because it gets absolutely amazingly huge so we can swing in for game. We play a single copy of the Cursed Thunder God. Jura is really good as a 1-of in the build to help us board wipe the field because each time your opponent activates a card or effect, you can actually gain 300 life points when it resolves. Also, this card can help you board wipe the field because during your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can pay 1500 life points, tribute this card, and then apply one of these effects to either destroy all face-up monsters that your opponent controls or destroy all face-up spells or traps your opponent controls, which is a pretty cool ability. And then a single copy of Dragite. Dragite is great because this card is actually a spell trap negate. playing a single copy of Jam Dragon Drive. Jam Dragon Drive is really cool as a 1-of, as if this card is special summoned by the effect of a P.U.N.K card, or it's synchro summon and actually pay 600 life points to take a level 3 psychic monster from the deck, either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. And this card is so good because it can actually search out your copy of Ghost Ogre, getting you a searchable hand trap, which is amazing. Then playing 2 copies of Jam Fever. Jam Fever is such a powerful 2-of in the deck, helping us draw cards, and also it's super easy to make. And once returned, you can actually XZ summon this card by using a P.U.N.K fusion or synchro monster you control, and also you can pay 600 life points and detach your material on this card, and if you do, draw a card. This card also is a walking gate, which is absolutely incredible, and it's just a really good 2-of in the build. We then play a single copy of number 38. Number 38 is a Spell Negate, which is so cool about this card, and it's just a really good 1-of in the build. My single copy of Dingirsu. Dingirsu is really cool as a 1-of his build. How much just send cards to the graveyard when it's summoned out to her side of the field, plus it makes it ridiculously easy to make a copy of Zeus. We then play a single copy of Zeus. Zeus is really good as a 1-of in the build. Basically just summon this card out to her side of the field and help us board wipe the field. I'm playing a single copy of Typhon. Typhon is great in this deck as a 1-of to basically just use this card as a skill drain for 3,000 higher attack with monsters and a bounce. I'm playing a single copy of Rising Carp. Rising Carp is so important in this deck, as this card is the ability you can actually attribute this fusion summon card to be able to special summon up to 2 P.U.N.K monsters with different names from each other from your hand and or deck, except a level 8 monster in Defense Edition, which is a really powerful ability to help you bring out your copy of Deerno, plus say a copy of Wagon, search the field spell, activate the field spell, and then you can synchro summon into something like a Jam Dragon Drive, search out your copy of your Ghost Ogre from your deck to hand off Jam Dragon Drive, and get a draw because you paid life points while you had your field spell on the field, which is absolutely insane. And your copy of Deer Note will let you bring back a monster to your side of the field when you actually use it, and it goes to the graveyard, which is so cool. But this card is so easy to go into using your copy Shirakusai, and it's just a really good 1-of in the deck. We then play a single copy of SP Little Knight. SP Little Knight is just a great double interruption. And then finally play a single copy of Alamirage. Alamirage is really cool just in case we need to link a card away. So you can have the effect of our Rising Scales go off by just say normal summoning out a copy of Xiamen, getting a search of our copy of Rising Scale, link away Xiamen for this, and then be able to summon out our copy of our Rising Scale, which is really good. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This deck is super fun to be able to play, and definitely one of my favorite decks of all time. It's basically just going for all sorts of insane plays because it has such good artwork and it just makes absolutely incredible boards. So that's gonna be this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.